Hello there, this is Father Ken Lau, and welcome to the new episode of the St. Joseph series. March 19 is coming up, and that's the solemnity of St. Joseph. And there's a devotion called Seven Sorrows and Seven Joys of St. Joseph. And the story behind that, and this devotion um, started in the 16th century, and, um, and it could be attributed to Blessed Gennaro Saneri. And there was a story behind that. Okay, the origin of the devotion was that two fathers of the Franciscan order were sailing along the coast of Flanders when a terrible tempest arose, which sank the vessel. With its 300 passengers, the two fathers had sufficient presence of mind to seize hold of a plank upon which they were tossed to and fro upon the waves for 3 days and nights. In their danger and affliction, their whole recourse was to Saint Joseph, begging his assistance in their sad condition. The saint, thus invoked, appeared in the habit of a young man of beautiful features, encouraged them to confide in his assistance, and, as their pilot, conducted them uh, into a safe harbor. They, desirous to know who their benefactor was, asked his name, that they might gratefully acknowledge so great a blessing and favor. He told them he was Saint Joseph, and advised them daily to recite the Our Father and Hail Mary 7 times in memory of his 7 sorrows and of his 7 joys, and then disappeared. Okay, um, so what are the seven sorrows and the 7 joys? The first the first sorrow and is on the despair of Saint Joseph, which is in Matthew chapter 1, verse 19. The first joy is the annunciation to Saint Joseph, which is in Matthew chapter 1, verse 20 to 21. Okay. The second sorrow is the poverty of Jesus' birth. Okay, and you could see that in John chapter 1, verse 11, or in Luke chapter 2, verse 7. Okay, the second joy of Saint Joseph is the birth of our Savior. Okay, and that's from Luke chapter 2, verse 16. Okay, the third sorrow is the circumcision of Jesus. Okay, the third joy is the naming of Jesus. Okay, the fourth sorrow is the prophecy of Simeon. Okay, and the fourth joy is the salvation of mankind. Okay, prophesied by Simeon again. The fifth sorrow is the flight into Egypt, which is in Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. And the fifth joy is the toppling of the idols, okay, which is in Matthew chapter 2, verse 15, but also in Isaiah 19, verse 11. The sixth sorrow is the perilous return from exile from Egypt, which is from Matthew chapter 2, verse 22. And the sixth joy is the family life at Nazareth, which is from Matthew chapter 2, verse 23. The seventh sorrow is the loss of Jesus in Jerusalem. And the seventh joy is the finding of Jesus in the temple in Luke chapter 2, verse 46. Okay, so meditate on scriptures based on what sorrow and what joy, and then say the prayer. After saying the prayer, recite one Our Father, one Hail Mary, and one Glory Be. Okay, so you would do the first sorrow and the first joy on the first Sunday of 7 Sundays before March 19. So in this year of 2021, it's going to start this January 31st. Okay, so do that for 7 consecutive Sunday. And then at the end, there's a closing prayer that you're going to do. And then when you do that, you will receive a plenary indulgence. So this plenary indulgence is applicable to souls in purgatory, and also to all the faithful who have received Holy Communion or spiritual communion if you couldn't go to church, and also the condition is for you to visit the church. If you can't visit the church because of COVID, just attend an online mass. Okay, that's enough. And also pray for the intention of the Holy Father. Okay, so I hope you would do this 7 joys and 7 sorrows of Saint Joseph devotion in this coming 7 Sundays before March 19. Okay, be a living saint. Jesus, Mary, Joseph, we trust in you.